Start our recording. Get right into a mission statement and then into the fundamentals. So, mission here is to create the greatest group of professional traders compiled in the world. We work tirelessly every day to improve our individual selves and push each other to get the most out of one another. With each individual's personal accountability, 100% effort, and consistent action towards focusing on our controllables, we will each reach our full potential individually and as a family. I, Stefanos, pledge to be the best version of myself today, to do whatever it takes to be the greatest trader that I can be, and to be the most self-disciplined person I know. I will do the things I have to do today, regardless of how I feel, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, and 1 minute at a time. I will control what I can control and not worry about anything else. Reminders, we do not overtrade. We do not over-risk. You don't need to catch a trade today. 1 to 2 trade ideas per day, 3 if you see a perfect setup. Capital preservation over capital appreciation. Risk management is your first and number one priority. Keep your trading plan in front of you. Read it before your session. Stack smart decisions. Trade what you see, not what you think. We are system oriented. Not how much money can I make on this? Think longevity, think efficiency, think long term. We aren't here just to make as much as we can this week. We're here to learn, and we're here to become better traders over the course of our lives. Have a sense of urgency today with your daily musts. We got someone coming in. Surge. Yeah, have a sense of urgency. It's Friday. I know you guys want to get into the weekend. Make sure you get all those things done as early as possible. Get those things crushed out and ready to go so that you guys are heading into the weekend super confident. You have your own smaller daily must list for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, of different things that you do over the weekend, but you still have a structured weekend for the most part. Again, you want to enjoy your time with family and friends and all that stuff, but if you guys want to get ahead, if you guys want to beat other people that are in the same space, you guys got to be using those weekends as much as you can. Maybe wake up a little bit earlier than your family. All that stuff. It all contributes towards you becoming successful and being where you want to be. Eliminate excuses and any victim mindset. Full accountability for your actions. So if you aren't using those weekends, and you see other people getting ahead of you and making more money in the markets and getting farther and farther ahead, either in this group or in the live markets, you know who to blame. So, economic calendar over here, looking at GDP, did not hit for Great Britain over here. That comes a day after Bailey ended up speaking yesterday after increasing rates. Got some more data, more positive data over here. Good trade balance was a little bit better, but still negative. Construction output was up, which is good, out of the negative from what they were expecting. A couple other things: industrial production, manufacturing production, a couple of yellow folders, but good. I would say mixed data overall. But today, if you're looking over here to the right, we have Michelle Bowman's going to be speaking for the Europe-US Symposium in Germany. You have Pill's going to be speaking, MPC member speaking at a Monetary Policy National Agency briefing. She's going to be taking questions. You got import prices coming out of the U.S. You have University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations, both prelim. So those are going to be coming out next week. Also, key headlines. Yesterday, we ended up taking a look at the end of the session over here. We had a lot of risk-off currency strength, right? U.S. dollar, Japanese yen were the strongest, while GBP, NZD, and AUD all became the weakest currencies yesterday. Markets also leaned towards risk-off, with U.S. jobless claims raising to 19-month highs, as well as more banking fears. If you looked at PacWest, their deposits declined 9.45%, with majority of withdrawals. I don't know whether they're saying this is wrong. With the majority of withdrawals. There you go. Proper grammar. Taking place on May 4th and May 5th after they announced that they were exploring some options, including selling the bank. They also said that they have $15 billion in liquidity. They also have, I believe, $5 billion in uninsured deposits. So, they have plenty to cover that if necessary. But their shares did fall 22% over here. And then there's another bank, I forget what bank it was, that might be the next one after PacWest that might be sparking some fears as well when it comes to their liquidity and what they end up doing moving forward. The Biden meeting with Congress was moved postponed until next week. They were supposed to meet today. And then again, GDP came out negative 0.3 for their GDP. So that's obviously not good for their economy. But looking at the markets over here, one thing that I noticed, I went back and back tested. I think this is going to be a big help for you guys. I started off with US 30 to see what the tendencies were for the last, what did I get? The last 9 Fridays I back tested on US 30. So 6 of the last 9 Fridays, we've had a rally on US 30 on the Dow. And majority of those sell-offs happened in March. And what happened in March? It was the banking crisis where all that sparked really feared, right? So, or sparked fear. So 6 out of the last 9 Fridays, we've had a rally. So US 30 could be bullish today as well. You also have GJ. 4 of the last 7 had a rally as well. But most of those rallies were not like major rallies, kind of like US 30's been. US 30's given us anywhere between 200 and 400 points on any given Friday in the last, like I said, 6 to the last 9. But GJ has been, a lot of them been kind of consolidating, but finishing off Friday is bullish. So that's just good to know. And then gold on the other side, I would say 5 of the last 7 had been sell-offs on gold, right? And also those sell-offs on gold have not been so much like big rallies, like I said, on US 30. They've been more so either consolidating or small bearish candles closing on that daily. So just keep that in mind when it comes to your bias on these days. US 30 more so might be a little bit bullish. Today, I might be leaning towards that, and knowing that that's our probability and that's our edge. But just keep those in mind, all right? All right, looking at GJ now. Again, really coming down from 172 as we've called, right? Strong supply zone. This candle flip after this candle closed a strong bullish candle, no top wick. We knew that if we passed the high and tapped into an area like this, we could end up flipping bearish, or if we're going to flip bearish, we're going to start pulling back quite a bit. Now, looking at the weekly here, as we said, this weekly, there was a good chance in the beginning of the week, we were creating that top wick. We were a little bullish, and we said there was a good chance you could end up holding some kind of a support here and continuing up. But if you start to see exhaustion around this area, this thing could flip bearish, and we do have a wick to fill. We've already filled that wick, right? So the weekly over here last week, as you can see, we created that bottom wick, and we ended up retracing all the way back up here and closing that way. Now that we've created that top wick past low that previous candle, are we going to start to break our own lows today and continue down with the New York session coming in and their GDP not being the hottest? Or are we going to end up retracing a little bit, right, and closing like a weaker bearish candle here on the weekly? Looking at the daily, so now we see on the daily that we ended up closing below the previous support over here. We'll mark that off for now. But then we tapped right into 168 flat, right? Tapping into 168 flat, previous resistance. Got our previous support over here as well that we ended up tapping off of. Tapped off of over here to end last week. Last week, we ended up getting the rally on GJ. And then we came up into this area holding that resistance and getting quite a bit of exhaustion over here. So then we ended up closing below. We're now pulling back above that previous support here on the daily. But if you look at the 4 hour now, you're starting to see that, you know, maybe you don't really need to mark that area off. So far, that's your previous support over here, and we've just tapped into that area. We'll see if we even want to mark that off as we go down the time frames. But right now, if we're looking at the candle bodies, I'm just going to adjust that right there. We're looking at the candle bodies over here. Got that strong bullish candle close with a wick to fill. This candle has already created that bottom wick and flipped bullish. And we've been bullish all London session. We look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour now is starting to approach, actually not starting, but we're starting to break through that previous resistance that we created over here and maybe breaking through over here, right? We held the higher low. Very important to mark that off. Trying to see if there's any adjustments I want to make, or do I want to leave that right there? We'll see on the 30 minute. Okay, on the 30 minute, there we go. That's what I thought. So the 30 minute, we got that area right there that it might be better, because if you take a look, break down the candle body anatomy, we had that previous support and resistance right there. This candle tapped when we first created that high, tapped into that area and retraced a little bit. Then we broke through that area, rejected that area again, right? But now what we see is this lower high being held, nice resistance, and we're ranging between those two areas right now. What I do like is the fact that we got that bullish candle close with a wick to fill. We did close below that level, but now it is a strong bullish candle. So there is an indication that we could continue up from here, but at the same time, do you really want to take this until we break over here, or do we get like a strong close above that area? Maybe I could see price continuing up from here, right? Let's see. I'm just going to readjust this up here. I'm going to go back up to the daily for a second. So the last 2 days over here, keep in mind, have closed a very strong bearish candle bodies, right? Could this just be a pullback during New York? New York starts to open, and then you end up registering the GDP coming out, and we continue right back down. Or do we end up rallying from this support previous area over here, and next week we start to get this rally into here, hold that resistance, and next week we maybe continue down either into that support or maybe break that support to continue down? Do we continue back up into 171, hold that resistance, and then continue down? All right, so those are a couple different options that could end up happening. Because again, risk on yesterday, that's where, or risk off yesterday, that's where the Japanese started to gain some steam, and that's what pushed us all the way down. And now we're just getting this pullback, but this is definitely a key level that you could see price holding some kind of a resistance, trapping some people. Because again, if you look at this, hard impulsive move, pullback, hard impulsive move, pullback. Now we're coming right back into a key area right here. Could end up trapping some buyers, and then price continues right back down. But I don't want to sell from that level. I want to sell from somewhere down here. Looking at the 1 hour. So I wouldn't be selling until we break this area. If you guys were looking at this morning, this was your area right over here. And what was interesting is price did tap into this area, this resistance, strong bearish close, lower high formed, and we were continuing down. And I could see a lot of people trying to get a little ambitious. Right over here, you were creating this lower high over here. Looked like price was continuing down. And I could see a lot of people trying to take sells right there to continue this down. But what they didn't register was you had this previous resistance and support and a higher low ended up getting formed. When I was looking at the market, we were right over here holding this resistance and looking like we were going to continue down. But again, the range from here down to that support is not nearly big enough for you guys to take a sell. You need to wait for the close below this support, and then you could start taking these sells. But right now, we are creating higher lows. Got that strong 15-minute close. We're getting a higher low formed over here. Price could be continuing up, but I don't really want to take any buys until we clearly break through 169, 100, and you could take a nice move coming up right into here. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to close this door. All right. All right. So again, as I broke down, like we are in this range. I'm not gonna lie, I do like this price action. I like the way the 1 hour, the 30-minute looks. Looks like we could continue up, but I'm not gonna get trapped by that on a Friday. The range from here to that resistance right here on the 30-minute and over here is not big enough, I don't think. Yeah, it's only 19 pips from if you took it up to that close, but from right here, you only got about 12 pips, and that's a major area on all those time frames, right? Even up to the daily. So just keep that in mind. But I do like the price action. I do like the chances of price retesting that wick, creating this higher low from this morning, and now continuing up. But I'm okay waiting for some of the heavier volume later in the morning. And plus, it's Friday. You don't want to force yourself into anything or take chances on something like this. Like, this is maybe a low risk entry on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but on a Friday, it's just not worth chancing things because we could easily reject that resistance. Make sense? Sound good? All right, am I alone today?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
There you go. All right, so now you're starting to see towards the end of this week, what do we keep saying about this area here on gold?
The strong resistance.
Right? Strong supply. So a lot of selling goes on in this area over here if there's not enough fear in the market. There is fear. I wouldn't say fear, but definitely some pessimism in the market and more people going towards risk on currencies. But again, at the same time, what do we say about those statistics on a Friday and towards the end of any kind of week? You start getting some of that sell-off on gold specifically. So now looking at question is the monthly going to end up flipping bearish or closing below 2000 over here, or is this just a retracement and then towards the end of the month we end up closing a strong bullish candle above like 2020? But now we're sitting around 2004. If you look at the weekly, we're starting to reject that area. Looks like that wasn't a strong enough candle. And if you take a look, the top wick over here of this bullish candle is bigger than the body. So that's a little bit more of a rejection wick than it would be a wick to fill. But at this only because you do have this resistance over here. Again, we are on a bullish trend. That wick can eventually end up getting filled. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, you know that once you get that tall top wick and it's stronger than the body, sometimes that doesn't get filled. And if you take a look right here, here's another hint for you. That wick right there lines up with the wick to the this week, right? So we ended up rejecting the same exact area over here, and we're not flipping bearish, kind of staying below 2020. That was a great year, wasn't it? Looking at daily, you're getting the last 3 days we've had these sell-offs, lower highs and lower lows. Rejecting this whole area right up here, right? Breaking below that previous support. We'll mark that off, but we'll also mark, and we get that close below, slight close below, top wick form, pass below the previous candle. Same thing as all our lower time frames that we'd like to look at. And now we're starting to break through that previous resistance over there to the left. We may end up turning this into one big one in the middle as we go down the time frames, I'd imagine, but let's see the 4 hour. Yeah, see, what I would do is actually get rid of that for now. And we can move that right there. That's your previous resistance, multiple rejections to the left, support, and then we got that close below that level. Right? So now what happens is we're tapping off of 2000. Last time we came into this whole area right here. Actually, let me make that lighter. Last time we tapped into this whole area right here, we get hard rejections. Hard rejections out of that area, and then nice rallies coming from that area. That's why I was telling Lim, I think we're a little overextended over here as we're tapping into this area. But if we can hold some kind of a resistance right here, maybe I could see price pushing through to have that Friday sell-off, right? But looking at the 1 hour, 1 hour ended up, if you take a look right here, we can leave that zone on top over there. I may just move this up a little bit. Yeah, right here. So you got that area. And we started off with 2 zones, made it 1, and then we're back to 2. So looking over here, take a look at that. Strong resistance. You got that supply. Clean move to the left over here if we can break through that area, and specifically 2000. But look, when I sent this, we got that strong close below with a wick to fill, and now we ended up closing right back above. That doesn't mean I'm not saying take a buy over here, but what I am saying is that I think price is a little overextended over here, and it needs at least a pullback like that. But again, understand that you're selling into an area like this. Like you need to clearly break out of that area, and specifically 2000, before you end up breaking below and getting this clean move to the left. These are the runners that you want to hold. Looking at the 30-minute. Yeah, take a look at this. This is your hint. Now, I've been looking at, I'm not taking these yet. But like the counter trend trades, the ones that are a little bit more risky, where like I can anticipate where a lot of people get trapped now on gold. And if you see over here, a lot of people try taking this break and retest, I bet, right? Capitalizing on that bearish close, no bottom wick, taps right into this support, and now it's starting to flip bullish, right? So I'm live back testing this thing continuing up over here to continue back up to 2012. Because again, look what happened last time we were in this area. Strong rally. But again, it's Friday, and Friday doesn't necessarily give us a strong rally on gold. We've only gotten 2 in the last 8. Yeah, 2 of the last 8 Fridays we've had rallies. So 2 of the last 8, and those rallies came early. Those rallies came in March. So keep that in mind. And March was the banking fears. So right now, are we really going to get a rally, or are we just going to be pulling back anywhere into these areas over here to continue back down? So I'm just going to adjust this over here. That's your now most recent support. You have this resistance over here that we're sitting in. The question is, do you want to take any kind of buys up in here? You do have about 55 pips, so the range is big enough. It all depends on what you get when it comes to the price action above this level. But I can see a lot of people getting trapped down here, and price pulls back a little bit before continuing back down. But I can also see maybe some kind of a lower high in here form and continue down, but I'm not taking anything. I don't think I'm taking anything on gold today until we end up breaking through 2000. Just check on GJ real quick. Look at that. Hard rejection. I think we may have a nice sell on GJ today. Let's see. Yeah, GJ has been mixed on Fridays. So, and again, we're tapping into this key level right over here. More so on the 4-hour. See that? So this is just a pullback, just like this. Either pullbacks end up happening as pullbacks or consolidations before continuing down. This could be that perfect pullback, and then we retest that low. But we're not taking anything in here until we start breaking 168, 600, I would say. I'm going to start doing this again. I used to... Man, I am starving for some reason. All right. This is clearly no trade. Just gonna take a quick screenshot, add it to the journal. $7:48 a.m. All right. US 30. Remember what we talked about, those Friday rallies? But looking at the monthly right now, we are sitting at that resistance. Big consolidation on the higher time frames over here. But current monthly candle, a little similar to gold, where last month we ended up getting that strong bullish candle close with a wick, with no wick. Top wick forms, flips bearish, and is now fairly bearish. Looking at the weekly, same thing, right? The next two weekly candles are bearish. Same thing we saw on GJ. So right now, did I say gold? I meant GJ. So we got that resistance right there. We have a strong weekly candle that closed last week with a wick to fill. Top wick formed. We broke into this area. Now we ended up retracing over here. I actually closed. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but when I close a trade at the perfect time before price reverses, that's just as nice as a win overall. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but literally closed at 263 pips and price reversed and would have stopped me at a break even right at that point. Now I could have left a little runner, but I don't know. For some reason, I had that feeling that price could reverse. And every time US 30 makes those moves, those big 200, 300, 400 pip moves or point moves, it ends up retracing. Just keep that in mind. Daily, or ends up almost correcting pretty much the whole thing. So now the daily right now looks a little choppy. Basically sitting in this massive range over here. We do have this lower high critical area that price likes to tap into to the left over here as well. Previous support to the left, but we had the Friday rally last week. Price pushed up. We pushed all the way down to retest that area perfectly. And now this candle, no bottom wick yet, is now starting to push up. So this candle either has the option to flip bearish at some point today and continue down, or are we just going to get that Friday rally like we got last week and price continues right back up and retest this area again before continuing up. The reason I think that could happen is because we ended up tapping this area perfectly. We're tracing, closing up here, and this candle's been pushing up ever since. Other than the current top wick it has, where it's tracing from. But right now, looking at US 30, I'm just going to adjust this right here. That's that area we like to tap into before continuing down. We did break back above our previous support over here and kind of fake that level out, holding support and now continuing up. But now we're starting to approach 33,500 psychological level, where price could be holding some kind of a resistance and continuing down. I was looking at this morning, actually. Holding that resistance right there. I wanted to wait to take anything. Yeah, there you go. Previous support over here to the left. Now holding that resistance. Are we going to hold that and continue down? Let's see the 30-minute. Okay, so the 30-minute closed with no bottom wick, which I don't like, right? I do think, like, if we're going to play that statistic of Friday rallies, you got a clean move above 33,480 for price to continue back up. So you got safe buys above this level once we end up closing above there. And then what we have here is once you break below that level, I would say, I mean, I could see us maybe getting like a resistance formed here and price could continue down. Got to see what that range would be. About 38 points. It's really not that much because you would have to put your stop loss somewhere up here. Very small range. What I'd rather do is take sales below 33,400. Rather take those buys. And if you guys go back and back test those Fridays, you'll see that a lot of the volume, like sometimes we do get good volume before 8 o'clock and into 8 o'clock, but once 9:30, 10 o'clock comes around, you get these huge candles. Right. So just keep that in mind when it comes to taking anything on US 30. Right now it's a little choppy. You got to wait for something to end up happening here for us to break out of this range. But once it does, you may end up getting a strong close above this area and might be able to grab this move coming up. But that's if the fear subsides. GJ still playing around this level. Just not worth being in here. Not worth being in here at all. All right. So how's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling to finish off the week? You guys feeling confident? Are you guys struggling with something specifically that you want to go over?
This week has been good so far for me, so
Shit, man.
yeah.
Do you find that, like I went over with you, some of the best weeks I've ever had come after some of the worst weeks I've ever had. So do you find that, you're really on that up and up after a couple weeks ago?
Maybe, but at least it's going in the right direction,
Yeah.
I'm not kind of jumpy in some stupid trades like I did before.
That's a positive.
Yeah, and now I try to more focus on the higher time frames. It's still, I still want that quick action. Yeah, but I now kind of, if I see if it's against the trend, it's maybe better to wait for that 30 minutes instead of go on 5 or 15,
Now we're talking.
Yes.
Listen, I
And
got
it's
no problem with you trading on the 1
because
minute.
I watch you every day, you showing what is working, and it's I need to get that switch in my head, don't do this, do like what is working, not jumping and then just thinking, it's gonna reverse or it's not gonna reverse it.
Yeah, I honestly don't have much of a problem with you trading on the 1 minute, but like it's like these setups are so much cleaner. What you are learning though, as the weeks go by, and what I've noticed is that you're really starting to understand price action. And I see that through your breakdowns of the 1 minute, right? The previous 1 minute trades, you're taking counter trend trades, big stop losses. Now you're starting to trade using the price action and watching the way these candles are closing and giving you more and more hints as to where you could take them. Now imagine taking them on the higher time frames. You're going to get a lot more pips, right? And also the trades are a lot stronger, and you're taking much higher quality trades over quantity.
Yeah, that's what I noticed as well. Now I looking on the candles, like when you show me a couple of times what you look for, and now I try to I still want to jump early, but at least I don't jump too early.
Yeah. Do you find that like you feel like trading needs to be exciting?
I don't think it's it's always good to feel a good trade and had a win, so you got that feeling, yeah, I done well.
You feel like you're almost,
but it's not like before, you're just running around and telling everyone,
yeah. I mean, listen, there are scalpers out there that do well for themselves. That's their strategy, and it makes sense to them. Like I'm never gonna judge that. But those people just love action all the time. And I'm not gonna lie, I love action too. I wish we could take a trade wish we could take 3 or 4 trades every single day and that be a normal thing. But the thing is, like, trading is actually really boring. If you're somebody that needs action all the time. But if you enjoy the process of breaking down charts and sitting back and waiting and being patient, the wins don't come as seldom, but also the losses definitely don't be coming as frequently. And the wins feel better because you're sitting back and waiting. And it's almost like an astronaut. Like if you're an astronaut, I don't know if this is a good analogy, but you spend a lot of your career on Earth studying what's going to happen up there when you get up there, right? you study a lot of things about the spaceship and you know what you need to do to be successful out there, what you guys are looking for. And it's only like once every 5 years that you're gonna end up going up there for about a month. So like imagine like that's all their preparation happens. Majority of their job is just preparation and waiting for the actual event to happen. And then they end up, you know, taking their flight. I don't know if that's a good analogy because that's so far and few between, but with us, like majority of it is waiting for your setups. It's waiting for what works for you. It's not going to show up the same exact way every single time, but there's going to be different variations of your setups that you got to be prepared for and know how to enter at that time. And if you don't yet, that's where you spend your time learning how to do so. And just building up the confidence and back testing and journaling, studying your trades, studying trades missed, all that stuff. That's where it all comes from. And then you're preparing for the live market. You're preparing to put your live money on at risk. So, yeah, man. I'm glad though that you're really looking at these higher time frames now and waiting for these candles. It's just a lot of the 1 minute is just noise. You see me using it, right? Like I'll use it every once in a while to see how my trade is going more specifically. Like I look at it while I'm in a trade and also sometimes before I'm in a trade. But that trade is never solely based on the 1 minute. It's always based on the 30-minute. It's always based on the higher time frames and just using the lower time frames and its price action to tell me where's the tide starting to turn. Like, are we really starting to actually bounce off this resistance? Are we getting those lower highs on the resistance? And now I'm just waiting for the 30-minute to close. Yesterday on gold was a perfect example of that. Where's my trade? Right here. I'm actually glad we're talking about this here so that you guys could see. So yesterday we ended up getting this move coming down over here. And one thing I did journal was that we could have maybe taken this on the we called this whole thing, did we not? Right? That people were going to get trapped up here. We were going to reject this resistance and we were going to have that tank yesterday. What I was actually looking at was after this candle closed and at 9:30 this candle gave you that top wick formed, right? And with a wick to fill, the previous candle gave you, you could possibly take this after this candle flip bearish, stop loss goes above that wick and taking this thing down. I know the take profit or the next support is right here, and I would definitely be securing that'd be your 1-to-1 right there, but leave this runner in, you'd possibly still be in this trade. So, you know, it's really based off of what we were calling over here. We actually called this candle right here. And then the news came out. We rallied a little bit. Okay, Lim, let's go back and look at it. Good shit. April 24th. See, this is what I love. When you guys give us, you know, when you guys back test and bring your thoughts to the markets, it helps a lot. Yeah, I could see this. Failed to break above that level, and then you got that push 9 o'clock. Look at that 9:30 comes right back down to the support. Good shit, Lim. Love to see that, and it tapped right into this support perfectly. Right, so now you know what I'm gonna do. Take a look at this. Thank you, Lim. So the next time I see this, most likely I'm gonna execute on it. If you go over to my journal now, I think for that gold trade that I had, which I'll break down for you. Yeah, right here. 48 screenshots over here between that trade and the trade I actually took later on. So this is 30-minute April 24th. Same setup as the first analyzed trade. Okay, so I have that in there now. Actually, I want to just kind of bring attention to it. Focus box. Take it on the flip. Stop loss could go above the wick. Take that right into that support. Yeah, I'll journal like this now. Okay. Good shit, Lim. Okay, so if we go back over, we're gonna end up deleting these levels. So now what I was looking at over here was we ended up creating that low after that move over here, right? Rejected that resistance, strong close, top wick form, flip bearish, comes all the way down here with 930 volume. Then we end up getting this pullback back into this previous resistance. I know, Serge, you were looking at the same thing, right? Now, this would have been my third trade for the day. It was my third trade for the day. And what I was looking at was the 15-minute and a possible entry on the 15-minute. And I could have taken this on the 15-minute, and I would have if I didn't already take two trades, right? But I didn't. I waited for the 30-minute to close here, right? Stop loss above, took basically this entry right here. Right here. So I was able to get, I closed 50% and then another 50% down here. I think it was literally right down here as this candle didn't have a top wick yet. This candle closed like that and it just started pushing down, tapped into that support. Being that it was my third trade, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna, close 50% of this, stop loss at break even, and ended up getting stopped out by that wick right there, which, I could have left a runner, but it is what it is. Again, it's you got to take that third trade if you're going to take it. It's got to be very precise, and you're not really looking to make that much on it. You're really just looking to maybe risk 1.5%, secure where you normally do, stick to your rules, and that's it. Because the worst thing to do is have a great morning and then blow your profits with that last trade. It completely wipes out your confidence from what you just gained over the morning. All right, but the reason I was bringing this up, Serge, was because I was looking at the 15-minute. It was definitely a good entry on the 15-minute, especially after this close right here, right? I think, and then what I was doing, here we go. I was looking at the 5-minute, seeing how we were creating these lower highs over here, and I was looking at the 1-minute as well. So the 1-minute gave us a double top over here, right? And now what I could see with your entry points wouldn't close over here, or I wouldn't be entering over here because the higher time frames didn't even close bearish yet, right? I think we just got that weak 15-minute candle close over here at 10:45. So right here, that 15-minute would have closed right there, right? And then what we did was we created this low, we pulled back, respect the same resistance. The way that you trade, what I could see is maybe entering your first position right there after we form that double top. Your stop loss could go up here, could be a little bit wider if you want. It's up to you. And then you get this lower high formed over there. That could be your second entry. And then what you end up getting was, let's see, after this candle closed, that could be another entry right there. And then specifically right over here, you would have had the 30-minute candle closing at 11:30, and you could have entered your other ones over here knowing that we're going to get this drop. Make sense, Serge? Serge, you there?
Yes, I'm here because
Alright.
I just switch off live swap at 1 o'clock they give you, brief, and I don't want to interrupt you. And before I find microphones, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you always show me, like what. It was a clean, but I already had the trade before, and I went to the gym, so I didn't trade this. But this was a clean price action.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, and first of all, also Quentin just left. Yeah, so again, like I think that's going to be beneficial for you, just knowing when to enter those if you are going to stay in these lower time frames, instead of like taking the sell over here with the stop loss all the way up here. Now you can risk more. knowing that we're getting a double top on the 1 minute, and we're also getting the 15-minute candle closes, the 30-minute candle closes, and now using these to enter and scale in. Like, I don't trade like this at all. And just because I know price action, I know exactly how you trade and how you can trade. And like I said, when you first came in here, it's going to take me a little bit to learn you guys. This goes for all of you guys. It takes me a little bit to learn your tendencies, your work habits, your work ethic, the way you trade, the way you see the markets, all that stuff. That's why, you know, being in here and you know, joining the group and stuff. I know I have the monthly, and sometimes people will come in for a month and we just don't see eye to eye, or, you know, they don't have the work ethic that it takes to be in here, and they may end up leaving after a month or two. But, you know, the thing is, we really didn't get a chance to understand, you know, how we can work together and how we can build your career. So I think the minimum we should, I might end up doing is like a 3-month package. I might actually start doing that. 3-month package and then the yearly package. I literally just thought about that on the spot. I think I might start doing that. Yeah. It's got me thinking now. All right. Let's see. So gold ended up giving us that 1-hour candle close at 8 o'clock with a wick to fill. 1 second. Okay. So gold's still bouncing off that level. Ooh. You're starting to see some volume pumping in here. Again, Friday sell-off. If we get a close below the support, I could see us maybe taking something. But just be aware of selling into this whole zone right here. This whole area is going to be difficult to take a sell into, especially a breakout trade. We'll see. Let me see the higher time frames again. Yeah, daily's tapping right into that area over here. We don't have that much economic data coming out today either, so I don't know if this daily is going to continue to break its own lows, or is that the low that we just created today, and we end up just kind of consolidating and closing somewhere up here to finish off the week. See how that this 4-hour candle is getting a little bit weaker, right? Like, doesn't this look like the low of the 4-hour after this consolidation here? Especially tapping into that area. I just don't want to see you guys get trapped. But I can see, I mean, if we didn't have that, right, what I have seen in the past on a setup like this is this bearish candle closing right below that level. Next one creates a top wick. Have you guys seen this before? And then continues right back down from there. But you need to wait for this close below, if anything. US 30 still creating these lower highs. Right? No bottom wick on that candle, which makes you a little bit weird to take something like that. But the 1-hour looks great to continue down. I think safer sells will be below 400. And you're going to be getting this 4-hour candle close, tapping off this area in the next hour and 45 minutes. Yeah, do we have a Friday sell-off? 6 of the last 9 have been rallies. But now fear started to come into the market yesterday, starting yesterday. US dollar, Japanese yen both finished the strongest. You know, what could we end up getting? Let's take a look at our other indices. Everything's pretty much up for the day over here. Very mixed for the week. Reading some of these headlines here. Yeah, GJ is just a mess right now. So how you guys feeling heading into the weekend? Anybody want to go over anything? One in the chat. Just sidetrack a bit. Are we meeting again for? Ooh, yeah, no, thank you, Lim. Let's go over that right now. Are you good to go over that right now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let me bring this up over here. Let's put this together. Let's see. All right, guys. So if we haven't hopped on the Zoom yet to go over this, this is a database that I've put together. I'm going to go through this really quickly, and then Lim is going to share what he's found as far as some of the formulas that we can use for each setup. All right. So hopefully everyone's paying attention. This will be recorded, but this is another way for you guys to track your trades that it also gets entertaining to do. We have Trello. You know, it's very important to study our setups and what we're doing, but it's very important to also track your account and where your account's at and what it's doing, where the big loss is coming from, where the big wins, and how can you capitalize on that next time to make them even better. But over here, looking at this, you got the date. So if we put in 5/12/23, you're gonna do this before every trade. It's gonna automatically populate a better format for the date. Then you got, today's Friday. Time taken. Let's say we took this trade just now, or we just entered it. 8:17 a.m. Let's say we close it at 9:17 or 9:19 a.m. Oh. It'll give you the automatic, how long this ended up playing out here. All right. I don't know. There we go. Here we go. It'll tell you how long this trade ended up playing out. So let me hate when that happens. So it'll tell you what the duration is. Then you get the session, New York, pair, gonna be, let's say GJ. Let's say it was a long on GJ. Setup was, let's say, a break and retest. I want you guys only to stick to certain setups. This is something that we could go over on a private Zoom if you guys want to hop on one. But time frame, 30-minute. Risk, let's say we risk 2%. I gotta fix a little something here. Oh, there we go. For some reason, 2% is not working. Okay, we'll keep it at 1.5. Let's say it was a 2-to-1 risk to reward. Stop loss size was let's say 10 pips. Now you can put your Trello card in here. So if I wanted to take the link for this Trello card, I can paste it in here. And it'll go right there. Now the notes for this trade is not going to be the whole description section of your Trello. It's going to be basically just like you're trading AAR, what you thought about the trade, why you took it really quick, couple sentences, that's pretty much it. And everything is wrapped into this cell. Then what you have is where you secured. Let's say we ended up grabbing a 1-to-1, so we secured at 10 pips, closed the full thing at 20 pips, and we grabbed 20 pips in total. Now the outcome is a win. Let's say your account is, let's say 50,000. Now Quentin, change this up a little bit. I'm gonna do dollars here. Oh. There we go. So what I have here is a formula so that when your goal for the day is 2%. Now don't go crazy. Like if we make 50,850 over here, it's going to say that you have $150 to go until you reach 2% for the day. If you don't see your setups, I don't want you to be chasing this. The only purpose of this is to track the growth of your account and how to actually compound 2% every single day. And now if let's say this was 50,000 51,500, let's say we gained almost 3%, where we gained 3% for the day. Now 2% on this account of 51,500 is now 52,530. It tells you what the 2% goal is. All right, and then you put your actual account. Maybe now we only reached 52,100. The carryover is now $430. Does that make sense? And now the next goal is going to be 53,142. Make sense, guys?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome. So this is very important when it comes to like tracking your account. And also over here, it gives you your automatic statistics. I put in formulas over here, to very simple formulas to grab your stats on, we took one trade over here. We have one win. We grabbed 20 pips, and then our win percentage is 100%. If we grab a loss right here, we're now at 50%, 2 trades taken. If we lost 16 pips here, we're now at 4 pips for the week so far. Make sense? Now the pip thing doesn't really matter when it comes to our strategy. It's just good to understand, like, how many you're grabbing for the day or for the week, and at the end of the week you could see how many you could have actually grabbed, and you can compare that. So that's kind of why I do that. Now, Lim, you have statistics for this, right? Or formulas for each setup. What I was trying to gain was if we take a 30-minute break and retest on GJ on Tuesday, what does that compare to another setup? Like, what are the stats and win rate for that? So that's what Lim was able to figure out, I think.
Yeah, I haven't added the day part, but that should be easy. Like if you want to add the day part, you have to create another table.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm gonna have to put in here as well. So like instead of setups, it'll be like days, and then each setup there. So, but yeah, for the setups, what would you come up with? It's a couple count if.
Yeah, actually, you can just open my spreadsheet. I haven't added anything yet. You can just open it. You can see the.
Oh, your spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over to it. Let's see, Lim. All right.
I'm just testing it, so I haven't added the stuff.
Okay. Oh wow, look at this.
Oh yeah, that's something I added as well.
I like that. How'd you get this to pop up?
It's you have to create a code, but I can show you the code later as well.
Let's go. This is awesome. This is awesome. Thank you. I love it. All right, so right over here. Wow. look at
Yeah, so
this.
it's just a bunch of count if. So if you want to add the day, you can add another comma, and then you can add the relevant stuff.
And what's the I?
It's column I. So
Oh.
you go to you go all the way to the left.
Oh, the outcome?
No. I is the column
Oh, I is the
in
column.
the
Okay.
spreadsheet. Yeah.
Okay. Break
So
and
it's
retest.
like, yeah, it's finding break and retest in column I.
Okay.
You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it will count the
Oh, column
the
I.
number of it will count the number of cells that whereby column K consists of 30 minutes, column I consists of break and retest, and then column T is a win.
What just happened here? Why did everything like erase? Oh, this is the back testing. Okay. So column K. Time. Okay.
Yeah. So if it works like if column K has 30 minutes, and then if column I has a break and the cell is break and retest, and then column T is a win, then it will count it as 1. So it will just continue to sum everything up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. And then what's the AC? What is
That's
it?
just a total number of trades taken. Total number of
AC.
trades. You can just go to AC14. It's all the way to your right.
Oh, okay. That's in AC
Yeah, so you
14.
just
AC 14.
divide by the total number of trades taken. That's your win rate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. If you can
And then-
send this over to me, I don't know if you have like a little like how-to thing or something like that, so that we could do this for like other guys in the group. That'd be awesome.
I'm not sure how to do that. I mean, you can just copy and paste the formula if you want. You can just create a copy of this spreadsheet.
I instead of
something
doing
like
that, I'll just come back over to yours and just
Yeah.
kind of copy those over and add that to mine or the whole student database so that we can we can copy that over for other people as well. Thank you so
Yeah,
much
and
for doing
then-
this.
Yeah, no problem. I think
Oh.
for the risk, just now, do you see? I think you had a error on your risk, right? The
What was
column
it?
for risk. You had an error for the column risk, the 1% thing, or the 2% thing.
For risk?
Yeah, you had an error right just now. It's because you need to add the 0.0.
0.0. I'm not sure what you mean.
You click on you click on the drop down button.
Right here?
Yeah, and then you click this
Oh,
modifier.
okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
you need to add the 0.0 behind.
Oh, for the other one?
Yeah,
That's
because
why
yours
it was.
just now was only 2%, so it couldn't work. You need to add the 0.0 to allow it to
Oh,
work.
got it. Okay. That's why that wasn't working.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, yeah, I was wondering why that wasn't doing that. And sometimes for whatever reason, these two cells or these two columns were like linked together.
I think it's because it copied and pasted
Maybe,
something. Yeah.
maybe. Okay. Well, good to know. I'm still learning with all this. I was amazed that I was able to put this whole thing together. So still learning with all the formulas and stuff, but I like it. It's something I'm interested in learning and doing.
Yeah, you should definitely learn it.
Oh,
It's something that we have to learn in school as well.
Oh, yeah.
Before we even take the module. So it's something that we must already know.
It's a good value to have.
Yeah.
Now, if we go back to gold over here, what did we just say? What did we say would happen on gold? Bounce off the support, right? And we were back testing. We're not taking these trades yet. These are a little risky, and I wouldn't be doing it. But knowing that you get this no bottom wick formed, also on the 30-minute. The fact that we created no bottom wick on this candle, tapped into that support perfectly, and you get that strong bullish candle close on the 30-minute, bottom wick forms, maybe take it on the flip of this candle, right? With the New York volume coming in. Right. So that's one thing that you can understand. Then also look what we're bouncing off of, like we just went over. This whole area right here is a strong zone that price likes to bounce off of hard. So let's see. In gold again. Yeah, gold has been majority sell-offs, like we went over. So this is kind of going against that. Now, what we could do, everything depends on this level right here. Are we going to hold this as support and continue right back up? That's the question. And you're really going to need that anyway, because you don't really have a valid stop loss for you to take this buy coming back up. You do have 55 pips, so the range is big enough. But let's see if we can hold this support moving into later in the session. Now, we also called, here we go, US 30. We need safe sells below this level right here. Right? If we could get that that close below that area, this thing could very well continue right back down. But at the same time, it could just be, we had a little rally over here, could just be pulling back into this area and then continuing right back up. Remember what we said about the statistics on Friday for US 30. Majority of them, 6 out of 9 have been all rallies on Fridays. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to get trapped over here trying to sell when we're really just coming back down into this area, key area, and then rallying from there. That's why safe sells are below there. And then GJ, look at that. High chance for us to reject this area over here and continue right back down. Strong bearish candle close. Look at that. But safe sells will be below 168,600. Make sense? What's up, Lewis?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
How are you, man?
Good, man. You?
Doing great. Doing great. I actually like this. Probably better off waiting for the close below 600, but at the same time, I love this 30-minute candle close. I know, you know, because a lot of buyers got trapped right there. I don't want to be a seller getting trapped either. So that's why I'm going to wait, especially if you look at the 15-minute. That's your range on the 15-minute. Safe sells will be below once you get that close below. But I have a feeling that there were a lot of people trying to take buys up here that just got trapped. And they just got stopped out with their stops below here. Just trying to grab this little range right there. Stupid. So wait for the close below. I have a good feeling that price will continue down, but that's what we think, not what we see. We don't see a close below that support yet. But this is that area on the 4-hour. And what you could do here, and probably the smartest thing to do, like I said, we could be coming up into this area to continue down. What you could end up doing is waiting for the 4-hour to close at that area and then take this thing down for the rest of the day. GJ has had, for the last 7, have been rallies, but not big rallies. They've been kind of consolidating Fridays. Well, I could definitely see a nice sell, especially with GDP. We actually said this at the beginning of the session when, you know, the GDP comes out like that. We get this little rally over here during London. This is as far as it's going to go. And then New York's going to come in and correct a lot of that move.
You know what I noticed, bro?
What's up?
Remember you took that trade on US 30 short? I think it was FOMC. I think it was on Wednesday or something on May 3rd.
Yeah.
I noticed that every time price touched that area, it went down. Like it was like a perfect entry for a short again and again and again for like he touched it like 3 or 4 times, and I noticed it and I back tested it. It's like, damn, that was a really good entry point, bro.
All right, let's take a look. Good shit, man. This week has been CPI. Yeah, FOMC was last week. FOMC short US 30. So right over here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at GJ tank. Damn, we've been on the money the last couple of days. So every time it taps into 33,130 or 150.
Yeah, and
The
I
support?
he tapped like he tapped it like 3 or 4 times after that, and during New York session, and he just went and he just melted after that. So I don't know. I don't know why I noticed that, but it was.
No, that's
I just
awesome.
I thought about your trade, and I was it's pretty nice, bro.
Dude, that's two people. Lim brought up a great idea or showed a great example of what has happened in the past on gold. Same exact setup as yesterday. Not the third trade that I took on gold that I was calling in New York, but the one before that you could have taken at 9:30. Same exact setup ended up happening on April 24th. Was that Lim?
Yeah.
Something like that. So let's see. This was FOMC, right? Yeah. So you're talking about like something like this. Lewis?
Mm-hmm.
So every
Well,
time
I mean, your entry. I think you took a short that day, right?
I took the short up here.
Up there. Where was your short?
Actually, was that up there? Let's see.
I think it was
that
33,750, right?
Yeah, no, it was over here.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
was
See
on
when
Wednesday this week. It was over here.
I used. Yeah, exactly. You see how it tapped it multiple times, and it tapped it like 1, 2, 3 times during New York, and every time it tapped that level, it just melted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, right here.
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh yeah. And then in the past as well. Yeah, dude, all these little things that
So
you
it
guys
shows you
don't
right
do.
there. Yeah, it just shows you how history repeats itself, like you
Oh,
said
yeah.
before. You know.
Fuck yeah. That's why I was so confident in that trade, even holding it in drawdown. Right? My stop loss was right here and it came so close and then just dropped from there. I had 2% going on that trade. I would have been pissed if I lost that. But I mean, look at this. Happened on Wednesday too. Did I capture that on Wednesday? Let's see. What do we do on Wednesday? One thing I love doing now is before we come to our session, I'm doing the fundamental breakdowns and everything before our session. I do a whole breakdown of all 3 pairs before we hop on. And I take my screenshots of that so that no matter if I take a trade or not, I have a whole journal of what ended up happening during that session. US third is today. That's Tuesday. Oh yeah, we missed this trade. I think we called it exact same trade as last month's CPI. But this time I called it out. Next time I execute it. I was waiting for the 15-minute to close. Oh, that's right. Remember we were waiting for the 15-minute to close, right? We called the whole thing and we said, I could see the 5-minute drop in here.
The past FOMC.
The past FOMC. Or no, the past CPI. So we got CPI this week. And right over here, I'm saying the exact same move happened as last month's CPI on April 12th, but this time I called it out. Next time I execute it. I was waiting for the 15-minute to close, being that the last time we saw it, we got a few 15-minute candles closing, bearish before it dropped. This time, the 5-minute just dropped at 9:05. Missed out on 200 pips here. Next time you see this, hold it after 1-to-1 and risk 2 to 3%. So same exact thing. We called the whole thing. Where was it? Was that the 5th? Yeah, the 10th. Yeah, the 10th. Why did it say it dropped at 9:05? Maybe I should just go into here. We'll take a look at this. All right, so we were rallying over here on the daily. What the? Oh, this was gold. That's why. Hold on now. Here we go. This was it. Almost identical to gold today. Big spike up with mixed CPI and then complete correction. Missed out on 460 points today. Last Pay attention to the liquidity grab and then pass of the low after the strong bearish close. Capitalize on both moving forward. Let's see. 4 hour. So here you go, Lewis. You remember this?
That was yep, exactly.
This is on Wednesday, and
Exactly.
we were saying like, price is going to tap into this area, and then we're going to get this sell off because we've been seeing it on US 30. Yeah, look at this. And what I waited for was I could have taken this on the 15-minute as this candle passed the high of that candle and then passed the low. That's where I could have entered this trade. But I was also looking at the 5-minute too. Here you go, the 5-minute could have taken this as it broke the low over here to continue down with my stop loss above this resistance. See, you have the first rejection, second rejection, and then third rejection as it broke the low over here. 905. You could have taken that.
Yep.
So yeah, man. But I'm kind of confused of what I did over here on gold, what I was saying. Just make sure that these are all the correct screenshots here. Gold, yeah, we tapped into that area. I remember this. We called this. Remember we said, yeah. Remember we said that we were going to tap into that resistance on gold, and a lot of buyers are going to get trapped up here. Did I take this or did I not miss this? Yeah, that's what the 1 minute looked like. Yeah, 15-minute breaking down. Yeah, nice and easy. All right, so GJ is breaking down right now. And look at that. US 30 bouncing off that level over here. Right, so we need that close below that level if you're going to take a sell, and then also buys above there, and I could see that happening. I could see a Friday rally. We close above this area, and then 9 o'clock, 9:30 comes around, and you get a nice move coming up this way. Now, GJ over here, we may end up getting that close below here. 15-minute. Finally going to be closing below that support. And if so, can we grab this move continuing down here? So what I'm going to do is take a screenshot of this. Great example for you guys to do on a Friday is go through my journal for this column. You'll see, a card for every single pair on every single day. And you'll see, how you can go back and review what ended up happening that day, how you could catch a trade like I caught or how I missed. Or, if I lost it, how you could trade better because I have all the notes in there. 1 hour. 8:41. Let's see the 4 hour. Yeah, look at that. See, now the 4 hour, I'm not going to take this on the 15-minute. I may actually, depending on how the 15 closes, but may just wait for the 4 hour to close because I know I'm probably going to get a top wick and price continues down. But that might be a nice 4 hour candle close there for us to take down. But you guys see how I was just talking about how I could see price continuing down, even though they wouldn't be safe sells from up here. After a strong close like that, your stop loss up here, maybe you get the whole move for the day and you hold the runner. Grab your 1-to-1, which you'd be getting close to, and then hold that down. Is somebody in the group chat trying to get our attention? Oh. Ah, Gary called it. Good shit, man. That's awesome. Glad someone grabbed it. All right, so we got 45 seconds for this 15-minute to close. Might have a nice little sell-off here on GJ to end the week. See, typical rules that are good to stay by or stick by, and also on the 30-minute. If you look at this 30-minute too, you may end up selling the low down here if you take this on the 15-minute. So I think what I am going to do is wait for that 4-hour. And again, the good rules to stick by is never take a trade, or don't take a trade, or try not to take trades before 15 minutes before the 4-hour close, 1 hour or 10 minutes before the 1 hour, and 5 minutes before the 30-minute.
Sir,
What's up, man?
when will the 4 hours candle close?
What was that?
When will the 4 hours candle close?
Closes in the next 15 minutes. So the 15-minute just closed. Closes
Can you
barely a
tell me-
bottom wick. So be aware that we should be getting some kind of a pullback up here to continue down. If it leaves without me, I'm fine. That's okay. But I'd rather wait for the 4-hour here. But you're seeing the volume in the candle. Let me actually take a screenshot of the 15-minute. Clearly closed below 2, which I like. That just trapped a lot of buyers. Yeah, so this thing should be pulling back and then continuing down. Now gold really rallied. Look at that. Please tell me opening and closing of the 4-hour candles. 9 a.m. Eastern. 1 p.m. Eastern, 5 a.m. Eastern. Those are the 4-hour closes. Let's see. You get that, Medea?
You said?
The 5 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m.
Yes.
Eastern, 1 p.m. Eastern. Wait, was this 15 minutes? So yeah, this is something that I'm going to be looking at as far as taking these buys from this area. We called it. I didn't say it was going to rally this much, but you know, we saw the same exact thing happen over here. We saw a lot of sellers get trapped. No bottom wick. Nice bounce off that area. Strong close right there. Not really our setup. You know, better buy is going to be above this area. But again, where's your stop loss going to be? But what I can see you doing is taking a buy now. After this bottom wick formed, if this thing flip bullish, you can enter. You can enter after that close. You can enter after the pass of the high. It's a little bit more advanced, but eventually I could see you guys doing that. 30 minutes. So what I would do is just do this. Analyzed either on close of 30-minute flip of next 30 or pass of high. So 3 different types of entries you could take on this. US 30 is holding that support right there. Don't be surprised if we rally up over here and this is just a seller's trap. Especially like there's a little hint there as you got that candle closing and no bottom wick, you get that bullish candle closing right at this area. But if we do close below here, I could see this continuing down too. You gotta wait. And remember what I said too. A lot of the big move on US 30, during New York, especially on Fridays, have come around 9 o'clock, 9:30. And now look at this. GJ is pulling back quite a bit. And we're just gonna wait for the 1 hour. Look at that. Nobody took GJ sells yet, did they? Each 50 AM. Ugh. That's awesome. He grabbed that. So the 4 hour here on gold is going to be closing a strong bullish candle. Just going to take a picture of this 4 hour. Look at that thing. Lewis, how'd you end up doing yesterday?
Yesterday, I ended up taking a gold short for like maybe 40 pips.
Nice.
And then it just kept melting like crazy. And I mean, it was definitely a good trade. I just felt I could have held a little bit longer, but I was like, fuck it.
What was the entry? What was the trade?
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, entry was 2027.56, and I closed at 2023.05.
I couldn't really hear that. Sorry.
My entry was at 2027.50 pretty much, and I got out at 2023.05.
At 9:30.
It was like around 9:41, 9:45, I believe.
Beautiful. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Catching this and Lim, if you look at this setup over here, I journaled this one. I was able to catch this one right here, the follow through. But if you look at April 23rd or 24th, right over here, resistance bounce, trapped a lot of people, liquidity grab, strong bearish candle close with a wick to fill, top wick forms, flips bearish, and retest this low. Very similar setup. You see that?
Yeah.
So like it played out again. Good shit, man.
Yes, sir.
Now you took
I mean,
some
if
of
I
the
would've
trades
held-
earlier, right?
I'm sorry?
Didn't you take some of the trades earlier with us?
That morning? I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. No.
You
I
didn't
think I
take
came on the
GJ?
stream on. No.
Okay.
Wait, actually, hold on a second.
I thought
No,
you
I
were
did
doing
take.
that.
I did take a GJ sell. Yes, I did actually.
Good shit.
Yep.
2 wins yesterday.
At
huh?
169. Yeah, 169 was my entry.
Good shit.
Yeah, bro.
Right. Wow. Nobody took sells yet, did they? You'd be regretting it right now.
No, I'm not. I haven't taken anything.
Good.
I think I'm pretty content for the week, bro. I don't think I'm gonna be catching anything today unless like I see something super clear.
Good shit, man. Your patience is fucking really taking a nice rally, I guess you could say. The
Dude, I had
key
a
to
fucking
trading.
crazy dream last night, bro.
Oh, what was it?
I was some scary ass shit, bro. Like I was in a haunted house or something. Like there was like fucking ghosts and shit, and I woke up like, what the fuck, man?
What?
I hate those dreams, bro. You ever had dreams like that?
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude, it was fucking scary, bro.
Have you ever had dreams where the what's it called? They occur multiple times?
Yes, last night was one of those. I woke up, I turned the TV on because like, oh fuck this shit. I turned the TV on, and then I woke up, went to sleep, and then I had another scary dream, like back to back. I'm like, oh damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
What's going on with
I
you?
woke up, I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like, I was like, look, man, like, I don't know what the hell's going on. But I turned the TV on, I put the NBA game, and I was like, I don't know. I think maybe because I watched a scary movie a couple of days ago, maybe it had to do with that. I don't know. And I really don't dream, so I was just kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's wild. I heard the Sixers blew it.
You got what?
I heard the Sixers blew the game last
Oh
That's
yeah,
good.
they did. They did.
yeah, they're gonna have a tough time going back to Boston.
Miami's gonna play your team tonight.
Oh, that's tonight?
Yeah, I
Let's
think
go.
that's 7:30.
Let's go. Got something to do tonight. Love it. What I was
And the
gonna
Lakers are playing off that.
You know, I wanted to say something real quick about what you were just like your progress. So when it comes to your progress and how important it is for you to start garnishing and developing that patience, the key to trading is sticking in trading for long enough where you're not making money and you're just constantly, going back and forth, and you're starting to lose a lot of that confidence. And then eventually you start getting a couple wins, right? And you realize how important those wins have come, or the way those wins have come is from the patience. And now the key from that is like, that's when you start to develop confidence, when you're developing those wins and collecting some of those wins. But the key after that is to develop that patience and to know when to wait for the right trades and when not to end up entering any kind of trade or any kind of foolish trade. Like you're just sitting there waiting for your setup all the time. But again, like I said, when you're going through that stage of not making much money, you're taking a lot of losses, maybe you got a lot of break-even trades, you're not really sure about where you are in terms of your trading career at that point, all it takes is just a couple wins for you to start developing confidence. And after that, that makes you want to backtest more. That makes you want to journal more. It really develops that momentum for you. So then after that, the key after that is just holding that patience.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man.
But yeah, I can't
Patience
believe
is
the
everything,
Lakers.
bro.
Oh yeah, 100%. There you guys are. Yeah, look at this thing pulled all the way back. Might be a no trade day on GJ, but I wouldn't be surprised if you do get something.
Why did you put that buy thing on gold right there?
So this is something that we called earlier this morning. Before you came on, we were looking at this, and if you go back to the London session over here, I was pointing this out to Lim, and Lim's been asking about when to sell the low. Like there are opportunities when price is moving and you could sell it and grab part of the move, but there's also points where price is oversold like this, right? And you want to stay out. Would you say this is oversold, Lewis? Obviously you're gonna probably say yes now.
I mean, yeah, bro, for sure.
Right. So like it's like over here, you have the first breakout over here, and that resistance holding strong bullish bearish closes, strong bearish closes. But like down here, selling down here, how much farther is this going to go? How much farther is gold going to go from here? So also, not to mention, this is 2000. This horizontal line is 2000, right? So at some point, we could get a bounce off 2000, as you see over here to the left. Not only that, but if you go to the higher time frames here, look at this whole area right here near 2000. How many rejections have we seen to the downside from this area? And how many rallies have we seen over here? Look how big that rally is right there. So
Yeah.
what we were looking at this morning was, you know, I would need to see that close below 2002-800 before I take a sell. And the reason I said that level was because what we ended up getting here was, you know, I sent that to the London chat when we were right here. And then we ended up getting this bounce, this bullish candle close at that same level. And then this lower high being formed. And it's like, okay, maybe we could see price continuing down, but I wouldn't want to sell unless we break 2003, I'll say. If we close below 2003, we could possibly take that sell because you get the clean move to the left. But even then, I wouldn't even want to take that because you have all this price action over here, and we rejected this level 2000 very hard last time. So we would need to get a strong close below 2000 for me to even want to take a trade, right? So then all of a sudden what we ended up seeing was that 30-minute holding that resistance over here, strong bearish close, but no bottom wick. This candle tapped into that support perfectly, and then we ended up closing bullish right there. And from that point on, I knew that we could very well end up tapping off this area and slowly working our way up. I just didn't think we were going to get this big of a rally. That makes sense? So like this isn't a trade that I'd be taking counter trend like this. You guys know my rules, where if you want to take a counter trend, gotta wait for the most recent resistance. If you're taking a counter trend buy, most recent resistance to break and retest before taking this thing up. But now what I've been starting to look at is potentially taking, you know, understanding what's going on with these candles here and taking something like this. So you can either enter after this candle closed bullish with a wick to fill. You can either wait for that bottom wick to form and flip bullish. You could take it there, or maybe even take it as it passes the high, or use dynamic risk. Make sense?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I don't want you guys taking this yet, but start looking at it, start understanding what happens, and so that you guys can capitalize on this. Right?
Yeah.
So if I was gonna grab a trade, it would have probably been that. But you know, right now I'm not gonna. Like you said, it's Friday. I'm not too enticed to jump into a trade just yet. I'm gonna be patient. US 30 holding that support, rejecting. Look, 30-minute closed above. Now again, if we do close below, I could see us taking something, but I could see this also being a key area where US 30 bounces off that area. And as we've seen, the last 6 of 9 Fridays, we've had a rally on US 30.
Yeah.
Now,
I like how
GJ,
you've been doing like the no trade zones, the safe sells, safe buys.
oh yeah, it
Yeah.
makes it easier for you guys. Aesthetically pleasing.
Exactly.
So look at that. 30-minute just closed above that area, rejected that area hard. The 4-hour candle did close bearish, which I like this break and retest. We said from the beginning of the session, this is a strong level that price could come up into and then retest the low down here, which is what I would want to see. But I didn't like that rejection right there. I do like the 1-hour candle close. It's a strong candle with a wick to fill. But we just closed bullish right there. Big liquidity grab. For some reason, we keep rejecting this area. So you got to be careful about selling into that. But I can see it, especially the way this candle's starting to push here. I could see like taking a sell. Stop loss would have to be up here though. See that? See, it could have just been a deeper pullback into that range, and now we continue right back down. But again, it's Friday. If this was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I could see us maybe doing something like that or taking our first entry, like a dynamic risk entry. But right now on a Friday, after having such a good day yesterday, such an easy day yesterday, you don't want to be you want to go right into the weekend with confidence and not chancing anything. But if we do get that close below there in the next 15 minutes, 30 minutes, right, I could see that, that would be a good enough trade. We got 70 pips, 4 hours lining up. See the daily. Daily's lining up. The question is, does the daily end up breaking its own low over here? Right? Do we end up pushing even farther? Or did we just fill that wick over here and not only fill it, but pass it and creating a new lower low? And now we're starting to retrace over here, and we may end up starting to close somewhere around here on the daily or on the weekly. That's the weekly. So the daily.
The 4 hour closes in like an hour, right? Like 55 minutes.
No, 4 hour already closed. This is the 4 hour. And the 4 hour closed a nice bearish candle, right? But weak. And like I said, the daily over here is bullish. The question is, does the daily have enough juice to flip bearish and come all the way back down into this area again? Like, are we going to finish the week off like that? Or do we just get this liquidity grab, price pushes all the way into 168, and then we retrace and then close somewhere around here, right below that support? So you want to be able to tell a story from all the time frames, and especially the way that 30-minute closed bullish above that support tells me that there might be a chance that we're not going to be able to continue down here. We're not going to be able to flip on the daily. We're not going to be able to break our own lows again on the weekly here.
What do you think about gold close above that? It's like, looks like it's kind of breaking structure, or kind of looks like it's breaking structure right now.
So gold started off the day in Asian and London, and also yesterday, rejecting all this area over here, rejecting 2020. Right, we ended up getting that strong bullish, fairly strong bullish close because it is a bigger top wick on the weekly, but we ended up closing below this level, right? And then this candle spent all week creating that top wick, and what did we do? We just rejected that same exact area that we rejected a few weeks ago. So now this candle ended up flipping bearish over here. Like, how much, and also if you guys look at the stats, only two of the last Fridays closed bullish. Majority of the Fridays, and only those really came in March during the banking crisis when that all started. You get what I'm saying, Lewis? So majority of the time,
yeah,
on US 30 and GJ, we've closed majority bullish on Fridays, and majority of the time on gold, we've had these pullbacks. We've had these corrections. But now the interesting part is the fact that the daily is now flipping bullish over here. And also on the daily, if the daily does close bullish on Friday on gold, it's only like a small daily candle. Small daily bullish candle. But, that doesn't mean it's going to happen every time. Right now, we are pushing up. That could have been a nice move right there, to be honest with you. After that bottom wick form, flip bullish, kind of would be buying the high, but I would have rather get it from down here. But again, I'm not, I don't need to take a trade today. But this is good to take a screenshot of. But does anyone have any questions? An hour, 9:08. Anybody? Long G.
no, bro, I'm good, man.
Plus pit miss. And we could have taken this around 8 o'clock. Actually, 8:10, 8:15, 8:15. I'll see. Trade successful runner. Counter trend. The all right, guys. I'm gonna hop off. Guys, have a great weekend. Remember to review your journal. If you don't have enough journal trades, that's on you. But also, you can always go into my journal and go look at all the good things I've done, things I've missed, things I've lost, everything. There's all notes in here that you guys can go back and review for moving into next week. And then also do this again on Sunday. I know Sunday's Mother's Day. I know your mothers probably don't know who I am, but let them know I said Happy Mother's Day. They raised some great dudes. So with that being said, have an awesome weekend, and I will see you guys bright and early on Monday.
Later, man. Same to you
See you,
guys.
man.
And I'm sure it's happy early birthday to your wife. I'm sure by next year she'll be a mother.
Maybe.
Later, man.
You too, guys.
Bye.
Good one.